Boni, back to you. And the question I will ask you is, what do you make of your political future in light of what is really happening, of course, with Kibra right now, and also people really calling you out that that was a very reductive of you to, you sank very low in terms of, showcasing leadership in such a very ticklish situation that we had in Kibra as well. Don't you think also it's a very reductive of you to, as Eseli is saying, calling out, some of the cultural practices that, that we have on the ground, and you picking out on them and saying, they're uncircumcised, and calling out on other people. In light of what we have in this country, when we know such statements are bound to, stock some sort of tension, don't you think this is very inconsiderate of you?
When
you cannot actually retract that particular statement?
When I hear somebody say, I'm an intellectual, like my good friend Herman Manyora, who we normally sit here with, he did a small clip a few days ago about Kibra. And he's speaking to give the impression that an intellectual is opining on this very, very sensitive matter of electoral violence. And then he wants to give the impression that when Boni Khalwale moves in self-defense, Boni Khalwale is lowering himself so low. You know what I say? Then thank you very much. You are an intellectual, but by a half. You'd rather I came out of Kibra in a casket? I tell you, and Eseli will confirm this, my aunt would come and cry, saying, you stupid Boni, why did you do this to yourself? Clear. So whether it is somebody's culture or not my culture, or my culture, not his culture, the fact remains that the primary responsibility to remain alive eventually lies with the owner of that life.
Yeah.
Kusha.
But in the broader context of maybe your auntie also talking
You
about
have asked
no,
me,
just a
you have
moment.
asked me, I want to flow, because these are very important issues. We have children who look up to us. Some of us, very many of them. We have others who think we are a very bad example,
Yeah.
so they should understand us. Now, my brother Amolo,
No, just before you go to Amolo.
when you reduce an important point of law, like who is an agent, to your interpretation, it leaves me only one option: not to seek your legal opinion, but rather go to the young opinion of Sonista Khalwale, who is a lawyer like you, or Vivian Khalwale, who is a lawyer like you. To be accredited at an election is not signified by a badge. In law, as you know, it is signified by a letter of appointment by your party and an oath of secrecy from the IEBC, both which I had. Jacoyo, this nonsense you're telling the country that there is something called good violence, move away from it. You're almost my age mate. Move away from it.
Picking up stones, you're saying this was purely to protect yourself. You didn't want to come out of there in a casket.
Yes.
But you think, my
Yes.
question to you was this brand of politics that now you are espousing, you said your own aunt will have asked you, Boni, who sort of bewitched you in taking this sort of brand of politics that you're in right now? Are you happy with the brand of politics that you're espousing yourself?
I think the bar on a debate like this,
Yes.
it's good to let a panelist put a position, then you counter
Not,
it or
not
challenge
when you're
it.
going off on a tangent.
So the point I'm making is this, and it's very important. The reason why I have had to speak to it is his statement and the statement of Raila that some people outside us came into his bedroom. We have to clarify that it is not anybody's bedroom. It is just some locus in the Republic of Kenya. And with the constitution being very clear on the rule of freedom of movement, then nobody can possibly have a bedroom